Hi, John Morgan here with Bob's Marketed Greenhouses, and today I'm standing here in one of our seed germination rooms. Now, a lot of our seedlings come in here to get their start, but you know what? You can get the same results at home too. So we're going to show you how you can do that. When it comes to starting your own seeds at home, there's plenty of varieties to choose from. And there's also plenty of different ways to plant them. You can use your own containers, or you can buy things like these compressed peat containers, or peat pellets that expand when you water them. So, welcome to my home office / seed starting area. So once you get home with all of your materials, of course your seeds and your containers, whether you buy the peat moss pots or trays, or the pellets like I just prefer purchasing, your next step is of course going to be to gather your materials here. And of course the main things that you need is a watering can with water. And another really helpful tool when it comes to initially moistening these peat pellets is a spray bottle. You can just mist them with the sprayer, and that'll help them swell a little bit. And this tray actually has a little grid in the bottom, so when these swell out, they kind of get held in place. If you were to just go and dump water in, the pellets would actually float up, and then you end up with a mess. So by spraying them like this, it'll let them swell out a little bit, and then you can go ahead and add more water to them after they swell. So now that the pellets have swelled out a little bit, we can go ahead and add our water. And what I like to do after I add the water is let it set for a day or so open, so any excess water can kind of evaporate, which during the winter time with the dry air, it doesn't take it very long at all for the extra water to evaporate. And you can see here that I have a few pellets that are floating a little bit, so I'll have to keep an eye on those and poke them down in as they swell up. So the next step, now that our peat pellets are filled with water, is actually to sow the seeds. And each of the pellets has a little indentation on the top to help you when planting. So the seeds that I am sowing are basil seeds. And they are kind of hard to see where they're black. They blend right in with the soil. But they are pretty easy to plant. So I'm just adding a few to each hole, and then later on I can go back and thin them out. So I'm just making sure that there's a couple seeds at least in each hole, and it helps out to add more than one seed in case a seed doesn't germinate. So now I'm just going to go back, give the tops a little pinch to cover them up. You don't need a lot of soil covering the seed. And there you have it. So finally, I add the finished containers to my seed starting area here in my office. I also use this shelving system for houseplants, and I have a couple fluorescent plant lights, and it was really a cheap system to set up. It's just simple wire shelving and a couple lights. You can pick those up at most hardware stores for around $10. For this and other great information, visit us online at bulbsmarket.com.